Fermentation. Fermentation is the exception here where we're using microorganisms. We're using what we generally have been considering the bad guys in order to be the good guys. So we're using good microorganisms to convert foods into a more stable form. So in most cases, we're converting carbohydrates like sugar or starch into an acid or an alcohol. And there might be some other antimicrobial compounds being formed in the process. In theory, you're reducing the pH of the food or the produce substances which make the environment uninhabitable by other organisms. So there are lots of things that affect fermentation. There's the type of the organism that you're using as the fermenter. There are natural fermenters. You can make wine and never add any yeast. It's everywhere in the environment. It's a little risky because your wine might go the wrong way and turn to vinegar or go bad. But a lot of people make wine using the natural environmental yeast. They ferment their grapes into wine. Bingo. It's a little more reliable and predictable if you add the microorganisms yourself using some starter material, a little pouch of dried yeast, and you throw it in. There are acid fermenters, oxygen-dependent fermenters, temperature-dependent, depending on what you're trying to do. What is the conditions in which you need to ferment? Do you need salt-tolerant organisms? Again, there's lots of different types of fermenting organisms to deal with. What is their source of energy? It's usually a sugar or starch. How much oxygen will be available? What temperature will you be running at? What is the pH? What is the water activity? All of these things that are going to be your food starter product that is going to feed these fermenters to make your finished product. So what are we making? Cheeses. There are a lot of fermented cheeses. Yogurt. Used to make my own yogurt all the time. I'd always have a batch of yogurt on the kitchen sink running. I probably should do that again someday because I used to love it. My own yogurt. Wines and beers. That's what most people think of when they think of fermentation. Sauerkraut, a German cabbage product. Pickles. Not all pickles are made through fermentation, but many pickles are made through a fermentation process. Miso, natto, tempeh, vinegar, soy sauce, all of these are fermented products. And you could read up about them. What are they doing? What are the organisms? But these are the most common examples of fermented products. And that's it. Lots and lots of ways to process foods, to change their characteristics, to make them more stable, increase shelf life, increase the consumer appeal, the sensory qualities, look, color, taste, fragrance or aromas, et cetera, et cetera.